Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. Sorry, I completely lost the name. We're about to do some recordings with Jeexx, so I figured I'd do the deck breakdowns as well. And yes, I said multiple, we're gonna double record, so. But we're starting off with the structure deck, Cyberse versus structure deck, A Wave of Light. And nothing super crazy in the set. Like, there's a lot of like stuff that we've seen before that's like generically good in the Cyberse deck. The card that I want to highlight here is Trigate Wizard, who cares about co-linking, which is something that we haven't seen yet much before, but it's something that's gonna be like, it never becomes like super crazy, because like the stuff that like Firewall obviously is different now that care about co-links, but a lot of like co-link stuff like Nightmares are probably gonna be the closest thing that comes to this being relevant, and sometimes maybe coming up. But Trigate Wizard gains very powerful effects when co-linked, where like monsters co-link to this card up to 3, like you double the battle damage inflicted by the monster if it's co-linked to 1. If it's 2, you get a banish on any card on the field once per turn, non-targeting. Sorry, no, it's targeting, my bad. And then 3, you just get an Omni Negate as a quick effect once per turn. So, very powerful Trigate Wizard. And then, like, for Wave of Light, like, it's a, like, all of the like new cards are basically the stuff. I'll talk about these since that's what I'm gonna be playing. A lot of the new stuff is basically just like use counter traps and you're going to get effects. There's nothing like, none of the like new stuff is like super interesting and gonna be like too relevant outside of this deck, but I'll talk about them here anyway. Sorry, I was looking also at stuff like coming up in the future. That's why there was Ancient Gear stuff there. We can ignore that for now. Before the deck that we're actually playing, I'm playing Counter Fairies myself, and let's go right to it. And still a relatively high monster count, mostly because obviously when we're like contained to just playing this stuff in the structure deck itself, trust me, I would have loved to have triple Solemn Judgment and some Solemn Strikes in here. But unfortunately, like, we're contained, so we're limited to what's actually in the deck. That's why I have a slightly higher monster count than I probably would if I were to actually play this deck proper. But let's start this off with our boss monster, Sacred Arc Air Knight Parshath. If you activate a counter trap card, or if you negate the activation of a spell trap or a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can banish 2 other fairy monsters from your hand, field, and or graveyard. They can be like 2 from any of these, like combined. To special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when you activate a negate, or hand, even if not. So yeah, if you activate it and negate something and then add this to your hand somehow, then you still get to summon it. And then it has piercing, and when it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add a Parshath card or a counter trap from your deck to your hand. So it does a lot. Fuel Source strategy is just the biggest thing that we have access to, and it can end up in the grave by multiple means, or we can summon it from the deck by some stuff that will cover a little bit. Then the actual, like, I'd like to say the meat of the deck when it comes to our monsters, we have Minerva's Color of the Sky, one of the 2 probably best monsters that we have access to, where each time a counter trap is activated immediately after it resolves, this card gains 500 attack permanently, and if it does, and the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you get to add a counter trap with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, if you have 2 counter traps in your grave, or sorry, if you have 1 counter trap in your grave, as long as you can loop that and the other one, like, you just have a permanent supply of counter traps if they don't get banished. Now, important to note that Jeexx does have access to Cosmic Cyclone, which is obviously extremely good in this matchup, but still, like, Minerva, incredibly good. Then we have Bundle of Artemis, very simple effect. Each time a counter trap is activated, immediately after it resolves, you draw 1 card. This is mandatory. Then we have 2 copies of Meltiel, Sage of the Sky. I'm running a 3rd copy in the side as well. Like, our side is very, like, I'm not gonna probably go there, but it exists just in case. But Meltiel, each time counter trap card is activated immediately after it resolves, gain 1000 LP. And if you do, and if the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Obviously, the second part is the only thing that we really care about. We have a lot of stuff that makes us pay life points, but like, we also have ways to prevent that from being a case where we don't actually have to pay life points, and the poppy side is very nice. Then we have just 1 copy of Power Angel Valkyria. I have 2 more here in the side if somehow I feel like I need to go more monster heavy. If you negate the activation of a spell trap card or a monster effect, you get to add a light fairy monster from your deck to your hand, and it can add Power Angel Valkyria. And you can this is a hard one return as well. It's also like best beat stick before Minerva gets buffed, apart from obviously Parshat. And then I was earlier alluding to not paying cost. We have a Guiding Ariadne, a Pendulum monster. We're not going to be Pendulum summoning, and the monster effect doesn't matter. And what matters here is the Pendulum effect, where while it's in the Pendulum zone, you apply these effects. You do not pay LP to activate counter trap cards, and you don't discard to activate counter trap cards. Which is obviously very good, because for something like Solemn Warning, like 2k, and suddenly we don't have to pay the 2k, we have stuff that we need to discard for, we don't need to do this. Suddenly this like makes all our counter traps even better. And then finally we're playing light monsters. We have access to Honest, might as well play Honest. If Jeexx is not summoning monsters, we can just summon this to poke for 1100 every turn, or we can protect something like Minerva and Artemis with it, which is the more like relevant portion. Then we have 2 copies of the Sanctum of Parshat, a new card continuous spell. Name becomes the Sanctuary in the Sky while on the field or in the graveyard. Gives fairy monsters on the field 300 attack and defense, and set spell traps cannot be destroyed by card effects, and neither player can target them with card effects. Once per turn, you can target a total of 3 fairy monsters and no counter traps with different names in your grave, and you get to stack them on top of your deck in any order. A lot of really good effects, but what we actually care about here is the name Sanctuary in the Sky being on the field, obviously activating a lot of the secondary effects of our fairies, and then obviously the protection of our set stuff. So if Jeexx wants to get rid of this, he needs to, or any of our like stuff, he needs to first deal with Sanctum of Parshat. And that's -1 Cosmic Cyclone. And I don't think there's a way for him to search those. So then like already at that point, like we can probably loop stuff with Minerva. And obviously we have stuff to also prevent it from even happening. We did throw in just a single copy of Sanctuary in the Sky, the original one as well, just to have an additional name. And obviously like the retrain is a continuous spell, so it doesn't need to go in the field zone. So we can just have this sit in the field zone, and all battle damage from the control of fair monster from battle involving the monster becomes 0. But mostly, they're just for the name. Then we have triple Ties of the Brethren. Pay 2000 life points, then target a level 4 level monster you control for the rest of the turn. After this card resolves, you cannot spell summon monsters. Also spell summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as the monster, but with different names from each other and that monster. Can conduct your battle phase turn you activate this card. We do not care about. If we have access to Minerva, Artemis, or Meltiel, we can use Ties of the Brethren to get the other 2 on board, and suddenly we have an insanely powerful board. And so we activate 1 counter trap. It gets crazy. Ties of the Brethren very good in this deck. Then going into a very extensive counter trap lineup, we are playing 16 different counter traps, 5 different copies, 3 copies each, and then a single Dark Bribe, because I couldn't come up with anything better here. It just you negate the activation spell trap to let your opponent draw a card, and then you negate and destroy. This is mostly just here to protect us from Cosmic Cyclone. But for the other 5, they're actually like pretty good. Rebirth of Parshat is like when Guiding Ariadne really comes up, because Rebirth of Parshat, when a spell trap or a monster effect is activated, this is an negate, reveal 1 counter trap in your hand, then discard 1 card and pay 1000 life points, negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card back into the deck. And then you may special summon a partisan monster from the deck or extract. This is what I was alluding to when I said that we are like how we can get Parshat on the field. This is the most likely way that it's going to hit the field, but obviously this is a very steep cost. But with Ariadne, we can ignore 2 of the 3 costs, and instead we just need to have a counter trap in the hand. Still, like, somewhat hard to achieve, but we can do that. And actually, I'm gonna mess up the order a little bit. We'll talk about Ultimate Providence because this is the one that we'll most likely have in our hand. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated, it's an omni-negate, but it needs you to discard the same type of card to negate the activation if you do destroy it. And I actually need to check how this works with... Actually, no, yeah, it works. Never mind. I was going to say, like, without Ariadne, like, this card is actually very hard to use, but with Ariadne, this just becomes a just omni-negate, which is obviously extremely good. But if you don't have access to Ariadne, like, I'll probably not even play Providence, and just, especially, like, if you have Rebirth of Parshat, I'll keep this in my hand to reveal for Rebirth. And the neat thing here is that even if you don't have Ariadne on board, you reveal one counter trap, and then you discard a card to pay 1,000. So you can activate this with only one card. You can reveal, I can reveal Providence for this and then discard the Providence because of the then here. Solid Warning we've seen plenty of times. I can't wait to probably try to activate it when I can't activate it once again, because I feel like every time we have Solid Warning at some point, I'm going to activate this on a summon that's not actually a summon that you can activate the summon. I hate how that works in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm dumb. Drastic Drop-Off might seem a little weird, but this is actually probably the best card. Well, maybe not the best, but one of the best cards in our deck, because it is super easy to activate, and it always like activates all our like fairies that care about activating cantrips. When an opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, including drawing, they must discard one of those cards. You can just activate this in your opponent's draw phase, and suddenly Minerva and Artemis are all going off. It's so good in this. Divine Punishment, when a spell trap card or monster effect is activated while the Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Omni-negate, but it needs Sanctuary in the Sky, and this is why we also have the original one, just to like ensure that we have Sanctuary in the Sky on the field. But that's for the main deck. We don't have an extra deck here, and like I said, like the side deck is very strange. I do have some extra copies of some fairies that were already running here. I also have Miraculous Descent, a continuous trap where you get to spell summon one of your banished fairies, and it gets destroyed while this card leaves the field or is destroyed. And then I just have like the like basically hand discard fairies where like Herald of Orange Light, Green Light, and Purple Light, they're all the exact same. Orange Light is for monster effect, green for spells, and purple for traps, and all of them have the same effect where you, as a quick effect, you send this card and one other favorite monster from your hand to graveyard to negate the activation and destroy the card. And then we have Ava here, where if it's in the graveyard, you can banish up to 2 other light fairy monsters from the field and or graveyard. They're the same number of level 2 or lower fairy monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except Ava. Obviously, these all being level 2s. They're meant to be used like in conjunction, like you discard one of these with Ava, and then you can banish stuff that you've already used to add more of these into your hand and go like there. But it's still like very hand intensive, and I'd rather lean into the more consistent side of counter affairs with actually the like counter traps. So that's what we're going to be trying, but if I feel like it, I do have this package here to side into. But yeah, very different. I feel like I don't usually play a lot of like control in Yu-Gi-Oh, so very different from the stuff that I'm used to playing. But like I want to say like this deck feels like very consistent, but I feel like every time I think a deck is consistent, I just get shafted. So now putting that out there, we'll just see how this goes. But excited to see what Jeexx has cooked up with his link pile. So thank you for watching the deck breakdown. Hopefully enjoy Jeexx as well. And afterwards, we'll see you in the duel zone.
Okay, so we are playing Cyberse Link versus... what the fuck the counter fairy deck is called? I'm not gonna check. I'm not gonna give counter fairies the time of day, dude. I'm playing Cyberse Link, obviously. Backlinker is a new card in this structure deck. This structure deck has a couple of fairly okay cards in it that came out that like obviously are good for the actual strategy of playing Cyberse piles. But also has a decent number of good reprints, like for example Mind Control, Moonmere Shield, Soul Charge, Cosmic Cyclone, Trag, Summoner Monk, and Mathematician, and even Glow Up Bulb, which I think was unbanned at this time. I might be mistaken though. And even like Debris Dragon to a degree. King Kabir is also something that I think only has like 2 prints total, and it's a pretty good card overall. Not anymore, obviously, but like for like older formats, King Kabir can be kind of fun. But yeah, we have a backlinker with the effect of if your opponent controls a monster in their extra monster zone, you can shuffle this card, and you contribute this card, shuffle all monsters from the extra monster zone into the deck, and also you can spell summon a monster from the extra deck for the rest of this turn. Backup secretary, like this card I could probably cut because I think the counter fairy deck doesn't have any. So any like extra monster decks, extra monsters. I mean, if you control Cyberse monster, you can control some discard from your hand. Obviously, we know not what this is like the most basic Cyberse card you're gonna see. Like if you're playing Cyberse piles, you're probably gonna be playing backup secretary for a good while. Balancer Lord, if you have this on board, you can pay 1,000 life points to normal summon extra Cyberse monster per turn. If this card is banished, you can summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Boot Staggered, when a Cyberse monster is normal summoned to your field, you can spell this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of Boot Staggered once per turn. When this card inflicts spell damage to your opponent, you can spell summon a Stag token. Card Trooper, Client, when it's summoned or flipped face up, all of your Cyberse monsters gain 500 attack or defense during your turn only. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy one Cyberse monster in your face, hand or face of field instead. Crane, when this is normal summoning, you can target level 3 or lower monster in graveyard and spell summon that target, but negate its effects. Debris Dragon, summon it, summon a card with 500 or less from the graveyard, cannot be used for synchro material if the other material is a 4. Dot Scraper. If this card is in the graveyard, you can spell summon this card. If this card is banished, you can spell summon this card. You can only use one Dot Scraper effect per turn, and only once that turn you can only use each effect of Dot Scraper once per duel. Glob Bulb. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, spell summon this card. Jester Confed, you can only control one of these per one of these. You can spell summon this card in any attack position. You can just summon it. Just summon it, bro. Summon this way during your opponent's next phase. Target one face-up card your opponent controls. Return both that target and this face-up card to the hand. King Kabio, spell summon a level 1 or lower normal monster, level 1 monster from your graveyard. And at the end of turn, bounce this card back to your hand. Mathematician. When this card normal summon, you can send one level 4 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard, and when this card is destroyed by battle, and send it to the graveyard, draw 1. Ram Claudia. When this card is normal summon, you can target one Cyberse monster in your graveyard, except Ram Claudia, add it to your hand. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can spell summon one level 4 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck. Oh. If not when. If it's an effect, yeah. Stack Reviver. If this card is used as a material for link summon, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in graveyard, and that was used as a material for that link summon, spell summon in defense position. Summoner Monk, Trag, summon it when you get the battle damage. It gains attack based off of the number of cards in your hand. You can send any of them to your graveyard and target one face of monster your opponent controls with the same level as that sent monster and gain control of it. And once per turn, you can target one monster in your graveyard. This card's level becomes that monster's level. Cosmic Cyclone, sign a backdoor, target a Cyberse monster, banish it, and if you do, add a Cyberse monster from your deck whose attack is lower than that monster's original attack. During your standby phase, return that monster banished by this effect, and it can attack directly that turn. You can only activate one of these per turn. Mind Control, My Own Mirror Shield, Soul Charge, Miracle's Wake. If a card is used for battle instead of the graveyard, you can spell summon it. Quantum Cat, summon this as a level 4 normal monster with the declared attribute and type with 2.2k defense and Storming Mirror Force. Another backup secretary, a copy of Cyberse Wizard. Once per turn, you target one attack position monster your opponent controls, change the defense position. If you do for the rest of this turn, your monster cannot attack except to attack that monster. And if your Cyberse monsters attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Duel Assembworm. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 2 hand or graveyard. You can banish 2 other Cyberse monsters from your hand and or face on the field. Special summon this card, but its attack becomes halved. You can only use this effect of Duel Assembworm once per turn. Once per turn, you can banish 1 monster from your hand. Banish 1 monster on the field with attack less than or equal to this card. This card is pretty good. Just sucks that the special summoning condition kind of just sucks ass. And also it leads to you not getting any actual use out of its effect, so yeah. Unfortunate. Another King Kabio, launch your commander. All of the Cyberse monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can do 1 Cyberse monster you control, and then target 1 face-up card one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. Is it card actually? Monster. Ram Claudia, Drag, more Cyclone, one more of each. Powerful Rebirth. Activate this by targeting 1 level 4 low monster in graveyard. Spell summon that target. Increase its level by 1 and attack and defense by 100. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Binary Sorceress. Gains effects based off of the number of cards that it's co-linked with. When a monster co-linked to this card battles your opponent, inflict battle damage inflicts battle damage to them, you gain that much life points. Once per turn, quick effect, you can target 2 face-up monsters on your control until the end of this turn, half the attack of one of the monsters, and add the lost attack to the other monster. In Kotaka, once per turn before damage calculation, if your monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can activate this effect. This battle, your monster cannot be destroyed by battle, and you take no battle damage. After that damage calculation, have this card or one monster it points to gain attack equal to the attack of the battled monster until the end of this turn. Is this separate? Oh yeah, no, it's not. After that damage calculation, so you need to actually have this part attack activate for this to activate. That's stupid. But yeah. Tri-Gate Wizard gains these effects based on the number of monsters calling to it. One monster calling to this card. If a monster calling to this card battles your opponent's monster, any battle damage should inflict your opponent is doubled. Once per turn, you can target one card on the field and banish it. If you have two calling cards once per turn, and when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation and banish that card. Omni negate, yippee! That's the card. That's the one you want to go to. Yippee! It's super difficult though, because it's not really good in this deck. If I had anything from the previous decks, then maybe, but not in this one. But yeah, unfortunately, we're probably gonna not see this guy pop off. So let's see where this goes. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
What is up, ladies and lads? Welcome back to the History Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning Journey. This time with a structure deck episode, which I feel was the last one, the Dino Smasher Sphere versus.
Don't remember at all.
It's been a little while, I feel, yeah.
But we had a bunch of them back to back to back.
Yeah. I think when that happened, in 10 episodes, I feel like we had 3, so probably for the best. But today we're doing the I think Wave of Flight. It's the counter fairies versus the first proper structure for Cyberse and link stuff. Basically
we had
stuff.
Episode 99 was Monarchs, episode 105 was ABC, episode 108 was Master Pendulum versus DDD, and then episode 112 was Dino Smasher Sphere versus Machine Reactor.
We do not talk about the Dino Smasher Sphere versus Machina.
Bro, you brought it up!
But yeah. Today we're doing another structure episode, and we're double recording. So once again, you're gonna see me in. Bro, I feel like I've been losing so many coin tosses lately. But if there's one deck where I would absolutely love to go first, it's this one, unfortunately. But you can't always have what you want.
I'm gonna normal summon Mathematician. Use the effect of Mathematician. Is this okay?
Yep. The
foolish
effect is fine.
Send to the graveyard a level 4 or lower monster from my deck. And I would like to send. Let's see. What do I even have in here? No, that thing sucks. No, this thing sucks. That thing is kind of ass. This thing kind of works, I guess. No, that's from hand. Never mind. All of these cards are ass. Haha.
Yippee.
Yippee. I love ass. I think I shall send to the graveyard a Balancer Lord, and I shall set one card and pass.
Roger that. I will graciously accept the turn. We'll start with normal summon of power. Do we? I guess it doesn't matter. I'll go for Meltiel.
Each account trap card is activated immediately after it resolves. Gain 1,000 life points, and if you do, if Sanctuary of the Sky is on the field, destroy one card your opponent controls. Okay.
Then I will activate said Sanctuary in the Sky.
Okay.
I had to check, so I'm like, Mathematician looks like a card that could well be a fairy. So I was like, wait, is this a fairy? But no. Luckily, it is not a fairy. Then I will proceed to the battle phase and swing over it for 100. And you get to draw.
100 damage, and I get to draw a card. Yippee!
Yahoo! Wahoo! Then,
yeah.
Me too. And I'm simply gonna set a card. And we will call it there.
At the end of your turn, I would like to activate Quantum Cat. I would like to declare the monster type Cyberse and the attribute Light. And special summon this card in defense position. Is this okay?
The special summon in defense position is fine.
Okay. This is very
It is
sneaky.
beefy.
Huge. It's massive. In my draw phase, I would like to activate Cosmic Cyclone targeting your face down.
That is fine. It will
Okay,
get banished.
1000. Okay. Standby. Main. Normal summon. Card Trooper. Declare the effect of Card Trooper. Mill 3.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. I gain 1,500 attack.
That's a lot of attack.
Next, I would like to activate from my hand Soul Charge to special summon 3 monsters from my graveyard.
Yep.
I would like to.
Yeah, I would have liked to have solid warning for this one.
Don't worry about that part, buddy. It's
I will
just a
keep
solid warning.
keep it a bug. I completely forgot that the deck had Cyclone.
Yeah, I put 3 of them in here.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if,
I was like,
probably
it's
a good
Cyberse,
idea.
fuck that.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think this back linker would be very. Dude, that's a bad name. That would be a good card if you were gonna summon anything from your.
You
extra
have no idea what I could have in my extra deck.
Yeah, this would be very good. But I think I'm just gonna actually summon it. And now all of my Cyberse monsters gain 500 attack.
While this
and
normal
defense.
summoned card is facing
Or
the
set.
field.
Wow, that's so weird that it's both, but it's not for special summon. Oh wow. That's
Also, would you
stinky.
like to pay the 3,000 for your
Hey.
soul charge?
It's only 3,000. It's not pay, by the way. You can kill yourself with this. Because you take 1,000 life points of damage for each card you summon. It's a very important distinction.
You don't take, you lose life. So actually, if you're gonna fix what I said, then at least be correct about it.
Okay, I see how it is. Fucking cringes. Let's start off by crying myself to sleep.
That's fine. Well, that chain resolves. What's up next?
I would like to send my 3 Cyberse monsters to the graveyard to special summon out an Encode Talker. Yep.
Yippee!
And then I would like to activate the effect of Balancer Lord to pay 1,000 life points to normal summon a Cyberse monsters in addition to my normal summon or set that I have made this turn. I will be summoning out a Balancer Lord. I can only gain this effect once per turn, so I cannot use it again. And then you can act this effect. You must kind of be blah 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 blah. Then I would like to
Make Tri-Gate Wizard.
Tri-Gate Wizard with just 2 co-links. Let's go. I mean, I think you're not wrong though. I think that's definitely what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, I'll just fucking eat all of these guys and some of the Tri-Gate Wizard here, and then I'm just gonna be like, I would like to act co-linked. Gain this monster number of monsters co-linked to this card. That doesn't even work. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so it's just one.
Stinky card. And then I pass, because I cannot attack. Double checking, actually. Once per turn before damage calculation. Damage calculation, yeah. This is... Can't be destroyed. Or battles a monster. Deals double battle damage, yeah. If a monster...
Before damage calculation, if you monster... That's really funny.
What?
No, I'm just this funny line here before damage calculation is just kind of funny because you know when honest happens, obviously
Yeah.
at the damage step.
Or you can act... No, honest happens at any point you decide to during the battle step.
Yeah, but like
Which is
the fact
funny
that
thing.
yeah, it's just funny that the fact that this protection doesn't even work against honest,
Yeah.
which is quite silly. Does this do enough? Is the question. Do 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 do. So this thing doesn't do anything unless it points to something.
Yep.
I see. Well, I
Very
mean,
stinky poo-poo.
regardless, like, try get wizard is obviously the scarier thing, and
I mean, yeah, it scales super hard, so.
luckily I'm really good at this game, so I would like to swing here and then yeah, damage step.
Me when my opponent is more talented than I am.
Yep.
In every game that I play.
I'm somewhat of a gamer, you know. Into. Now this is where it's awkward. I'll just end my turn and pray.
Oh, yeah. Stand by main. This blows a lot. Yep. Dude, nightmares are so good. Nightmares are so fucking good, man. It's honestly crazy.
We're not too far off. We're scarily close.
Almost on a Ram Claudia. Add to my hand a Cyberse monster from the graveyard.
Yep, that is fine.
I would like to add to my hand well, Balancer Lord. I think just fucking.
You can just kill yourself.
Yeah, just swing into this thing.
Yep, it goes to grape.
And then swing into nothing because you don't have drag in your deck, so. And then pass.
Right. I would like to. Thank you.
I was confused for a moment.
Don't love this. I won't lie. How much is that? It's 30, 41.
41.
Yeah.
And you know I have a Balancer Lord, so it's 5.8. On normal sim.
Yeah. It's 42 inch. Yeah, I need to do this, unfortunately. I do not love it, but it's all I can do. I will set some cards, and I will end my turn.
Stand by, main. I control a Cyberse monster. I would like to special summon a backup secretary.
That is activating a effect, so I will reveal drastic drop.
No.
What do you mean?
It's a summoning condition.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I fucking hate these cards specifically more than anything, because like you have gear feed,
And now you know it's whatever. Let's just go next. You know what I have, so it's just over. I went second with a Koner deck, and I just draw shit. So
yeah,
I have nothing to decide. I just lost to drawing bad.
Yeah, the most annoying thing about these cards is, in my opinion, the fact that the only thing that actually says whether or not it is an effect or just a summoning condition is if there's a.
If it has text on it, that should be an effect.
Yeah, I 100% agree. When I say I special summon this guy, that should be an effect, but instead it's a summoning condition for some cards, and for others it's just flavor text essentially. Gear feed has the effect of you have to banish a card and then you get to like summon it, and that can be negated. The summon can just be outright negated. Can be super card effects. I think the play can target them. Card effects on split turn can target 3 total. Set. 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 Pass.
We're both playing counter fairies? Push him?
Push him?
Scary. Normal summon Minerva.
Yeah.
What do you set? I so briefly looked at what the deck has. I don't like. The only thing I can think of is Rom Claudia. So is that? It's a client.
Yippee.
Would you like to use the effect to destroy a Cyberse monster in a hand or face up your field instead?
It's not destroyed by battle. It has 2,000 defense. No, it's my turn only.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my bad. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, that's... This... If this card on the field would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can destroy one Cyberse monster in your hand or face of field instead. This is, again, not an effect. What the fuck? Yeah, I'll just pop this thing from my hand. And then I'd like to activate this card's effect from the graveyard. When it gets destroyed by battle or card effect, I would like to special summon a Cyberse monster from my deck.
Well, now a fucking monster would
Dude,
be
that's-
summoned, so suck my fucking dick.
That's such fucking bullshit. Why the fuck would you not just make this... I hate replacement effects.
Yes.
Replacement effects are like the most toxic kind of effect in this entire game.
And I will add a different counter trap. Actually, no, it's
From
from
your graveyard
right?
to your
Yeah,
hand.
Yeah.
And you don't have a Sanctuary in the Sky.
Sanctuary of Parshath is Sanctuary.
It counts.
Yeah. That's the idea of running the whole thing. Anything else?
No.
Alright.
What do you-
Me too. We'll just go end phase.
In your end phase, I would like to activate Cosmic Cyclone targeting Sanctum of Parshat.
Divine Punishment.
Yeah. Then I would like to activate...
I'll get this, and now I'll get Solemn Warning back to hand.
I would like to activate a Signet Backdoor to banish my Click Ant and add into my hand a Cyberse monster with attack less than this card's original attack. I would like to add what is it? Reasonably, I should probably get this. Wow, this card doesn't do anything for this deck, huh? It's gonna come back. It allows me to reuse that. Yeah, I think I'll add to my hand a Stack Reviver.
And I'd like you to drop that off.
Discard one of those cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah.
Yeah. Going from drawing nothing but dead cards into drawing like probably five out of 6 cards in my deck being the best possible opener the deck can produce is interesting. Not shit again. Does this mean it's a repeat of game 1 again? But yeah, that's fine.
Has to be a level 3 for that. That's annoying. These cards are kinda ass. I guess I'll just dump. Man. I'll just dump Glow Up Bulb and pass.
Math man. I'll start with the normal summon of a Bountiful Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fire off Sanctum.
Mm-hmm.
Then Battle Phase 19. I'm into set and yippee! Literally 2 out of 3 same cards. What a great match. Drop off is crazy in this deck.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a counter deck is essentially in this game, because you don't replace anything. It's the same issue with going 1-for-1 for everything in Magic, except for in this game, when you go 1-for-1 for anything, your opponent just needs to hit one bomb, and then that one bomb can just win them the game. Whereas in Magic, it usually isn't a case of, oh, I just have to hit this one card and it wins me the game. It's why counter strategies never work, like counter trap strategies never work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because whenever you're playing a deck that is solely focused on running counter traps, they immediately crumble under the fact that your opponent summons a Skullcrobat Joker when you don't have a single counter trap set after 5 turns of activating a counter trap every turn. And now they just win because they search for their enablers and they just run train on you. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to say here because obviously the deck is very simple. You have Minerva or Artemis or something that fuels you while you're doing counter stuff. Then if you have the counters, then you can create a loop. Like stuff like Warning plus Drop Off with Minerva on the field is like pretty scary because obviously Drop Off is just, you can always just activate it. But there's like, and there's not much depth to the deck. Like one thing that like I guess didn't get to see is just Ariadne, which makes obviously Rebirth of Parshat really good because you don't need to fulfill the crazy conditions, and obviously like now you can also just Warning for free, but like life points aren't really an issue because it's like if you're negating everything, it doesn't matter if you're low on life, and if you can't get to that position where you can just negate everything, then you just lose, as happened with game 1. So nothing really there apart from that. And yeah, I guess didn't get to see Parshat make an appearance, but like that's basically the way you win the game because it's your like actually meaningful way of dealing damage. But that's like what Minerva also does because it's just getting permanently bigger is pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything to say about your deck?
My deck is a deck that doesn't have any kind of function. It's a bunch of Cyberse cards thrown together in a way where it's supposed to work. It's the same as a couple of other Cyberse decks that they have released or like given support to in the boosters, like the actual core boosters, which have the main issue of all the cards that they want you to play don't exist in the booster packs. Decode Talker is a card that they expect you to have for pretty much every deck at this point, for example. Next set and the set after that, it's gonna be different. But like at the end of the day, this structure deck still isn't intended to be played as is, which is a major flaw for a structure deck. It's the same issue as with the starter decks to a degree. At least the starter decks had Decode Talker and they have an actual like line of play for the Decode Talker where you just set up a Decode Talker and then you sit on that and activate anything in response to your opponent activating anything pretty much. It's just a shitty control pile, whereas this one is supposed to be a proactive, like battle-oriented deck. But the main problem with it is that you don't have enough cards to facilitate any of your actual co-link plays. Like it asks you to co-link like Tri-Gate Wizard with 3 cards for the Omni Negate. You have 3 cards in this set, of which you can like actually link it with barely 3 of them pretty much. if in that regard, it's like you have to activate 2 soul charges back to back, like each turn to get enough material on board, or have enough shit in your hand to facilitate you to get Xcode Talker, a
Probably
Tri-Gate Wizard, and 2 Binary Sorceress. And it's like, okay, that's a little too much. And then on top of that, it's like you don't even get 2 co-links for your Binary Sorceress doing that.
Yeah, like to be fair, like Tri-Gate is good at 2, but it just like even getting to that is so expensive because like if you had like link ones with downward pointing arrows like Link Rebo or Link Spider or stuff like that would already like help a lot. But because it's like so expensive, like in a contained format like this to get the co-links.
Yeah, exactly. It's just completely out of the pay grade of the structure deck to be doing Tri-Gate Wizard with 2. Like I had to summon out 5, like I had to use 5 cards, actually 6 cards, to make a Tri-Gate Wizard and EXCode Talker, because I had to make the EXCode Talker because I can't summon 2 Link monsters if I don't.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible for my deck to do that because I don't have enough arrows that point downwards.
And to be fair, like the matchup is also pretty bad because the like dependency on soul charge and obviously like something like warning, basically just ending the game on the spot and just over like having so many different negations to everything means that like I well, as we saw, it basically means that I need to break super hard and not basically get any of the counter traps so you can do something. But it's it's a link spam pile where like the ultimate end goal isn't super realistic, and like the more likely end goal is like it's not that crazy. I mean, like it's still fine because it's like okay, like the link threes have decent stat lines, but like it's still it's not crazy.
2.2k, 2.3k.
I'm talking about like purely in the context of this matchup. Because obviously the only thing I'm pretty sure that I have is Parshat that's bigger than that. But
because like even Deco Talker,
honest.
I mean, yeah, that's also another issue. This is a combat-based deck, which completely falls apart as soon as you play against a light deck that has Honest in it, which happens to be the exact matchup. Because your like best card that could possibly deal with your opponent's biggest threat can't do anything about it.
Yep. But that's like
at least they wouldn't get destroyed by the battle, right? Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, you got a game that's different than what happened in the Dino Smasher. Again, sometimes it's bad deck matchups, and sometimes the matchup don't matter because one side draws nothing but garbage. So
yeah,
unfortunately, that's the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh. But we will ramble.
In each of these games, I drew just as good. Like each of these games, with the exception obviously game 1 I had Soul Charge in hand, but like in each of these games I drew just as good and I could have had just as good of play. The main issue being that I needed to in game 1 I needed to play a Mathematician turn and lose the Mathematician, draw a card, and mill a card pretty much, and that needed to happen for me to have a good play. And it's just another issue with this deck specifically where it's too slow because it needs to wait until turn 3. So regardless of if you get to set up, like you'll always get to set up before I get to play. And that's yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I have nothing really to add to that. But we have another episode to record today, so we won't ramble too much longer today. So if there's nothing you want to add, we can get out of here for now.
Nothing. There is nothing.
Thank you for watching. Honestly, like happy to see some because I think like in the past few we'd actually had like relatively long episodes. So if there was gonna be one that's gonna be shorter, I'm happy to see it be this one. So happy for that. Like I said, we will go into recording the Extreme Force episode right after. It is Extreme Force, right? Yeah. Right after this one, but y'all will obviously see it later. Whether that's next week or the week after remains to be seen, because we still have some scheduling stuff to figure out, obviously, with Jeexx's upcoming trip. So it will, Extreme Force will go up in the next couple of weeks from using this for sure. But what happens after that still remains to be seen, but we'll talk about it more in the next one. For now, thank you so very much for watching, and we will see you next time.